It's August 28th, 2025. I'm here at the DC jail. I'm going to be visiting Denis Postovoy, who we know about, who's been in this facility since September of 2024. And he was a cellmate with a couple of different J6ers that I've come to know. So shout out to you, Ryan Wilson, for on the other side of this building where you can see Freedom Corner, and that is where you would wave out the window to us every night while you're recovering in the medical unit. And Ryan got me this letter from Denis's wife, Tiziana. Denis Postovoy is a political prisoner, I believe, who got swept up in the corruption of the Department of Justice under Matthew Graves. And they've accused him of basically conspiracy to sell computer chips to Russia, which he never did. So from his wife, Tiziana: my husband is a businessman and an entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience. He designs and develops electronic devices primarily for the medical and healthcare industry. He also assembles PCBA boards and manufactures them in China. He also has several innovative projects such as an algae-based drink and a headband that monitors brainwave activity, helping children with ADHD and patients with PTSD. This device has already helped thousands of people outside the United States. In fact, expanding these innovative projects was the main reason for our move to America. A few months after the war began, large companies that manufacture electronic components started shutting down Russian accounts. One of these companies, with which my husband had worked for many years, closed his account. I believe this was due to sanctions against Russia. However, they recommended a private company instead. As it later turned out, it was undercover company agents. Within a year, these agents repeatedly offered my husband to buy illegal components, but Denis always refused. I even recall a situation where Denis shared with me, which he doesn't often do, that a representative of this company looked like a criminal and tried to persuade him to purchase some illegal components that he could allegedly use in Ukraine, according to the agent. Denis said that probably he should stop working with them, although he was very surprised since they had been recommended by a major government-affiliated company. In any case, he always refused their offer because he had a specific list of components needed for PCBA boards and for his clients, and he didn't require anything new. For about a year, these agents attempted to set a trap, but they failed. However, at some point, Denis's shipment of components intended for assembly in China was detained, and a large sum of money, which was the payment for the goods, was illegally frozen. As a result, he was arrested for this shipment and accused of intending, yes, merely intending, as the shipment never even left the country, to sell these components somewhere in Russia. However, all the documentation clearly stated that the shipment was intended for assembly in China, where Denis had numerous partner factories with which he collaborated for many years. Moreover, the components of his shipment are widely used in household appliances. They are found in dishwashers, computers, phones, etc. Denis had been in prison for about 6 months now. He has not been provided with any discoveries or evidence, which prevents him from building his defense strategy. His lawyers believe that the prosecutors simply do not have strong or serious evidence, which is why the agents are delaying its release. While they stall on handing over the evidence, my husband remains in prison under inhumane conditions where they are trying to break him mentally and physically. He's being held in horrible conditions among murderers and gangsters, mentally ill people. He has not been allowed to go outside on fresh air for over 5 months. He's beginning to lose his vision, and he is not receiving any medical assistance. They are forcing him to confess to a crime he did not commit, knowing that winning the trial will be extremely difficult for him. First, the cost of legal defense is enormous. Second, the media has already slandered him, spreading false information everywhere and accusing him of drone trafficking, something he never did, without even clarifying the details. Convincing the jury that this is not another just bad Russian will be extremely difficult. Additionally, statistics show that 98% of federal cases result in a conviction, meaning that the chances of winning are minimal. In other words, you are forced to either plead guilty or face indefinite detention. And that letter is a few months old. Denis has since received a gallstone surgery, which was really giving him problems. He still has cataract issues. But I'm here to visit him. I need to get inside or I'll lose my slot, and I'll follow up on this later. Thank you all.